I play Ma, who is this wonderful, quite complex woman. I mean, I think she's very much the master of her own domain, and in this quite tight-knit community, she's a force to be reckoned with, and she can pretty much handle anything. But I do think that she has limitations in certain ways, and I think that that's a product of her upbringing. I think she struggles to sort of see past this little patch that she knows so well. And I think that this idea that the world is changing around her installs her with a lot of fear. Because, I think that she's great at what she knows, but anything beyond that, it kind of terrifies her a little bit. Well, when I read the script, she felt very familiar to me. I mean, there's a certain ferocity to Irish women and Irish mammies in particular, and that kind of tough love, but that kind of like quick to laugh, quick to anger. All of those things felt very familiar. I read it and I just fell in love with it. And then I had a Zoom call with Ken, which was a first for me. And we sort of read through some scenes and had a lovely chat. And then it all happened very quickly. It was sort of like, okay, it's happening and they want to see you in a week and a half, I think it was, or something. And then next thing you know, we were down in Ascot. But it's just been such an amazing process, and the project's been so special, and I feel very grateful that I've been able to be a part of it. I mean, it kind of evokes so much. I mean, there's moments that are really funny, but quite frankly, it made me quite. I don't know whether melancholic is the right word. I mean, I sobbed, I think I left Ireland when I was 18, and I haven't moved back. And so that whole idea of getting to a point in your life where you look back at your childhood, and you look back at the place and the people that made you who you are, that resonated very deeply with me. And I definitely got very emotional because I thought a lot about, where I grew up and having left there. And I thought a lot about my grandparents and, as a child, how our families, I think this is probably true for everyone. When you're younger, you see all your cousins all the time, and you see all your aunts and uncles. And, I definitely come from a very, very large families, but they were very tight knit. And as time has gone on, you see them less and less. And it's such a beautiful script. I mean, I think Ken wrote just a beautiful, beautiful script, and it was just very, very powerful. It was amazing. Ken is just wonderful to work with. He's one of the most patient and generous and fun people to be around. Obviously this film is very personal for him, and you could just feel the love that he had, for everyone he has written about, for the compassion he has for everybody that he's written about. And then as an actor, to have a director who understands so well what it's like to try and give moments, and his compassion and his patience with an actor, and he never shows his stress. I mean, to me, I do think it's a love letter to childhood, and to that absolutely wonderful moment where you see everything through such a fantastical lens, and the beauty in that, and also the pain when that is, that innocence is somewhat lost. To be a child at that age and to see the world around you change so drastically, I can't imagine how difficult that must have been, and how that must have flipped his world around. But to be able to take that experience and turn it into something that has so much joy and so much love, and yet, still retain some of that fear. And, I've thought about that. And First of all, I think this film is for everyone. And I'm so excited for my nieces and nephews and for my parents to see it. You know, I think it's going to touch people on all across the spectrum. But I think the thing to take away is how important love and family and community is, and the danger of when we let politics divide us and separate us. You know, there's beauty in our differences, and I think to retain that love of community, I think that's really special, and how absolutely awful it is when that gets torn apart. Yeah, I think, I think family is so important as part of the Irish culture. I think a lot of people come from also very big families, myself included, and you're always sort of taught growing up that family is so important and that you look out for each other, and it's yeah, I think it's something that's quite beautiful about the way we live in Ireland. It's that you really you create these, you have your families, but you also create these extended families in your community with your neighbors and the people in your village or the people on your street. It's such an integral part of the Irish psyche, I think. Yeah, I mean, it's so funny because when I read the script, obviously, it alludes to musical numbers and there's some moments in it, but often when you read a script like that, it's like for a second and then they cut to something else. And so I didn't really take in how much singing and dancing there would be. And also nobody really asked me if I could do either. So I was like, oh, well, obviously it's not an issue. So I was quite surprised on our first day when I knew there was going to be a little bit of singing, but when they sent us to choreography sort of lesson, Jamie and I were like, wait, what? We're dancing? But it's been wonderful. It's something I never thought I was ever going to do. And I've had to, get over quite a bit of fear of it. But I think, as always, when you do something like that, I have just loved it. And it's been so much fun. It's just been such a fun, lovely project. And everybody has been so wonderful. And it's been so lovely. Little Jude is amazing. And to see him do his little, song and everything has been so lovely. And Will is so lovely. Just everyone's so great. So.